Hey team, I'm Greg, and this is Studio 214. Today we're going to paint sun-kissed clouds on a choppy sea. So strap in and grab your brush, it's time to get to work. Painting time! You don't have to paint at home, but you can paint here. So check it out. Sweet Jen went on a business trip to California, and I asked her to bring her camera along to snap some quick pics of the ocean. Man, she delivered. Here's what she came up with. So let's dive in. Here's the supply list. Titanium white, yellow ochre, ultramarine blue, Payne's gray, neutral gray, burnt umber, Mars black. You ready to go? Right on! I started off by placing a piece of tape to split my canvas into 60-40 sky-ocean. A big feature of this painting is going to be the sky. 60% of the painting is going to be that sky. So I'm going to have to really take my time and work the clouds, and let me tell you, that's what I did. I'm using ultramarine blue and titanium white to throw in some color varying from dark blue to very, very light blue at the bottom. Right now, the canvas is super slippery, which since I'm using acrylics is a good thing. If I was using oils, I would not like it. No sir. I'm making a huge sky today. So for me, and what I like, that means a dynamic cloudy sky. I'm also in Texas, so a big old sky with beautiful clouds is something I'm used to, and I've grown very accustomed to seeing. So since I want a lot of depth in my clouds, I'm going to start with some Payne's gray, which is a really dark blue, and I'm going to make the shadows for the clouds. Most of this is going to have at least a little, if not a large amount, of white on top of it, so don't stress out. Just get some idea of the shape you want. The light source is from above and left, so keep that in mind when it's time to highlight. With a super wet canvas, the clouds will mix and play, and you'll get all sorts of variations, and as a result, your clouds will look dynamic and full of depth. Now I'm putting in the horizon by using my filbert and just streaking. Then on the edge of the cloud that is facing the light source, I put in more highlight, which should add to the depth I'm trying to create. Now it's time to blend. I like my clouds to be so super soft, so I blend, and I don't think it's overdoing it. Later I will go back over it with some highlight. How about now? Then I will blend, and that is the workflow. Put a little on, blend it some, put more on, blend some more, and on until the break of dawn. The type of cloud is important too. It gets pretty technical pretty quick, and it is a topic for its own show for sure. But quickly, knowing what type of cloud is normal for the day you want to create helps bring continuity and realism to your painting. As for me in this painting, in the back far off distance, I chose to make Altostratus Clouds. And in the front, those big clouds with grayish white on one part and dark gray in the back, they're called alto cumulus. You see, each cloud has its own characteristic and appears on certain days and in certain weather conditions. I do want to stay away from the side of the cloud that faces the light source, because I want a harder edge to show the light really hitting the cloud. I'll put some more shadow in and use the filbert for soft edges. It's hard to tell because I didn't want to waste y'all's time, so I edited out me looking at the canvas. But what I'm doing is I'll take a few steps back every so often and take in the whole composition and see what is needed and where. And then I make it happen. Now, you don't need to know the scientific name of the clouds to paint them, especially if you're going to paint some simple clouds that are behind, say, mountains or a forest. But if your sky and clouds are a feature of the painting, like in this one, knowing all about what makes a certain cloud a certain way is important so you can recreate it accurately and have them fit into the scene you're trying to create. Don't be crazy and be putting cirrocumulus clouds in a summer scene. That would be crazy. Oh yeah, here we go. As mentioned earlier, I'm putting in the light source top left, using yellow ochre and titanium white with a lot of water to thin it out. Then I streak the sunrays. What's important here is to find a central location from which the sunbeams will emanate from. Put as many as you like, but make sure they all come from the same place. Otherwise, it looks like there are multiple light sources. And that's no good. And then I kiss the clouds with a touch of the same color to show where the sun is really hitting them. When I first started painting, I got bad advice and critiques on my clouds. I would hear things like,
"Oh, are those clouds? Clouds look like this. You're blending too much."
Okay, fine. That last one was good advice. You can easily overblend clouds and make them look like floating cotton balls. But it still proves the point about how unhelpful those kinds of words are. And one time, on my very first painting, I heard this, even before I put paint on brush.
"Painting clouds is difficult. Let me show you how to paint clouds. They're hard."
And before you begin, you get in your head that something is hard and you're going to have a hard time doing it. It took me over a year of struggling and hating my clouds before I started to love them. Now clouds are nothing, and the clouds I made back then were good too.
"But clouds are hard."
Nah man, clouds are easy. Painting big, dynamic, depth-filled clouds is only slightly less easy. What do you guys think? Has an art teacher or even a parent unwittingly said some of those things to you? How did it impact your journey? How did it make you feel? For me, it made me feel like my clouds were gonna suck before I even tried. And when I thought they did suck, it made sense because clouds are hard. Now, it wasn't that they did, they were nice clouds. And immediately recognizable as clouds, and that's important. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section, and let's keep this conversation going. It's important. Now with the tape off, I can start on the bottom part of the painting. The pic I have shows a choppy ocean overlooked by a gaggle of great rocks. So, let's jump in. I start by using Payne's Gray and putting in some far off hills. I then use burnt umber to place a hill in front of it. I want the depth of the sky to be reinforced by the depth of the land features, so adding layers helps to do that. I am full of tricks and very, very sneaky. Now with some ultramarine blue and titanium white, I throw in the ocean. I want choppy waves, so you guessed it. A lot of paint and a slippery canvas will get me my best results the easiest way, with lots of variation. And that's key for making choppy windswept waves. I'm making arcs with the tip of my brush to spread some untinted ultramarine blue. It acts as a shadow. The anatomy of a wave is important to understand when painting a wave. And luckily, Surfer Joe is here to say hi. Hey, Surfer Joe. What's going on, bro? It's good to be on the show. Whoa! I'm a poet and didn't even realize that I was. Ha, sweet. So, you know a lot about waves? Indeed I do, my friend. All I need are some tasty waves, a cool buzz, and I'm fine. Alright. Hey man, far out, did you paint this? Yeah, I'm a painter. Whoa, dude! I'm a surfer! So we totally have that in common. Whoa! Look at your hand! It's all like... how do you paint so fast? It's sped up. I didn't want to waste the audience's time. Respect, bro. So, waves? Huh? You were going to tell us about the anatomy of a wave. Oh yeah! Good call! Waves, man! The dictionary defines wave as a hand gesture offered in greeting. Yeah. Wrong wave. Like ocean wave. What's it made of? What are its parts called? Oh, right. I got you. Sorry. Waves are made of water, bro. We call them tasty because they're well salted. They totally have a top of the wave and a bottom of the wave. I like to ride in the middle of the wave. Sometimes I like to drop in the green room, shred some wick, and shoot the barrel on my way to score some margaritas and senoritas. And you can come too. So you don't know what the different parts of a wave are called? Dude, I barely know what street my parents' basement where I live is at. Ah, well, super. Thanks for stopping by, Joe. Anytime, bro. Alas, I regret to inform you that I must be off. May what you hang be loose, and your waves be tasty. Hey, you should make some rad crushable waves, bro. Yeah, great, thanks, Joe. No, not this time. Maybe those type of waves in a different show. Be a lot cooler if you did. Of course I'll come back for that show. I didn't say anything. You didn't have to, bro, and you never will. Check you later, dude! Well, anyways, I'm just going to finish up making the waves by using my fan brush and getting as much variation as I can. In this case, the more variation I get means the more movement and drama I can create. It's a good thing. Well, hey team, I think that's enough for today. The next piece to work on are the rocks at the bottom, and I think they deserve enough attention to make this here project into a two-parter. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Part 2 will be out next week on Thursday, so look for it soon. As always, if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them. Leave your thoughts and feelings in the towel section below, and let's keep the conversation alive. See you next week. For Studio 214, this is Greg. Keep your paint dry and your mugs frosty.